What do you want to do about too big to fail? You say that banks are still too big to fail 5 years after the crisis and 3 years after Dodd-Frank.
Boy, I don't just say it. That's what's going on right now. You remember 5 years ago, we stood here and talked about the huge financial crisis, the economy about to plunge over a cliff. Well, a lot of good things have happened since then. We've gotten Dodd-Frank in place. It's made things safer. I would have voted for Dodd-Frank if I'd been here. But we've still got work to do, and too big to fail is at the heart of it. The four largest financial institutions in this country are 30% bigger than they were just 5 years ago. The five largest financial institutions now hold more than 50% of all banking assets. That puts our entire economy at risk. It's too much concentration in the system.
And you would like to then see banks kind of broken up. Your legislation, which has 9 co-sponsors right now, would reimpose Glass-Steagall basically and force banks to separate their investment activities from their deposit banking lending activities.
Yeah, it's a pretty basic idea, and I'm just delighted to have John McCain as a partner on this. Maria Cantwell, Angus King, and now several other people are getting involved. The basic idea is, look, banking should be boring. You have your checking account, you have your savings account, that should be in a bank. And the money from your checking account and savings account should not be used over on Wall Street for high-risk investing. Those two should be separated. You want to take those high risks, that's fine. Do it with investors' money. They know what they're getting into. But separate the two. And so that's why the four of us started out writing a 21st Century Glass-Steagall Act. I always want to remind people on this. We used to have banking about every 15 years. The banks just collapsed from the 1790s forward. In the 1930s, we put Glass-Steagall in place, FDIC insurance, stronger SEC regulation. We got 50 years of growing America's middle class. And it was only when we started pulling those regulatory threads out and punching holes in Glass-Steagall, finally repealing it in 1999, that we started building the kind of risk in the system that we ended up with. People's checking accounts, their savings accounts, they should be in boring banks and held separate from gambling on Wall Street.
All right, well, we'll watch your legislation and see where it goes up here on the Hill. But Senator Elizabeth Warren, thanks for joining us again.
It's good to see you.
Fox Business. Diane, back to you.